Louis Pugh is the executive vice president and owner-operator of the Independent Drivers Association. He's been a truck driver for 25 years. So, Louis, thanks so much for coming on. The California disaster that we just showed, unfortunately, it's the latest in a string of incidents involving illegal migrants obtaining a commercial driver's license in the U.S. and in some cases causing harm. What's your reaction to the video there and the overarching story?
Yeah, my reactions, like most Americans, this is a very sad and unfortunate thing. And unfortunately, this is something that should have never happened. You know, the Trump administration and DOT asked for all these driver's licenses from California's non-domicile CDLs to be canceled. And of course, this wasn't, if that would have happened like it should have. But I mean, really, the real thing is this person should have never got a CDL in the first place. I mean, unfortunately, due to a fake driver shortage narrative that we've heard for the last 20 to 40 years, which isn't true, we've set up regulations and or lack of regulations, I guess you would say, over all these years to try to bring people into this industry by the droves, and that was only to keep labor cheap. And that's what's happening here. All these years of continually trying to come up with different ways to keep trucking labor cheap and driver pay way down. This is what's happening. Now everyone's paying for this on the carnages in the highway.
I'm glad you so easily explained that to kind of understand how those here illegally and do not speak or read English or do it well are allowed to get behind these big rigs. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, he posted about the wreck that we showed you on X, writing, quote, "This is outrageous. This is exactly why I set new restrictions that prohibit illegal immigrants from operating trucks. The California governor must join every other state in the U.S. in enforcing these new actions to prevent any more accidents and deaths." And he's referring to his previous statement where he said, quote, "I put states on notice this summer. Enforce the Trump administration's English language requirements or the checks stop coming." California is the only state in the nation that refuses to ensure big rig drivers can read our road signs and communicate with law enforcement. This is a fundamental safety issue that impacts you and your family on America's road. Can you give us some insight, sir, into your company, Mr. Pugh? And if you would have gotten a person that came to you, did not really speak English well, couldn't really read English well, perhaps at all, would that still be someone you'd consider moving forward? Just trying to get in the mindset of how someone would get employed in that manner.
No, no, never would I. I mean, OIDA that I work for now, we've been leading the charge on keeping folks like this off the road. And, you know, thanks to Secretary Duffy and President Trump for putting this IFR to call these non-domicile CDLs. But unfortunately, we need to make this a federal law with, HR 5688, Congressman Rouser, because if we don't, if we get another administration, all these rules that Duffy and them could come back, and what we're seeing with California being defiant, it'll just go back to being the law of the nation. But unfortunately, there's a lot of carriers out there who are looking to not pay drivers or cheaply, and these are the kind of people they attract. And again, it's all driven by this false narrative of driver shortage and stuff like that. Not only do we see them wanting to recruit people like that, but 18 to 20-year-olds where they don't have to pay them as much. So this is just going to be a continuing problem until states fall in line and quit issuing non-domicile CDLs. And then also from a federal side, if Congress needs to mandate much, much, much stricter training standards. There's no real training standards for trucking at all out there.
Wow.
It's pretty much anybody can get a CDL.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.